Dr. Clouds here, introducing to you another cloudy mother-chucking video.
What's up, peeps? How's everybody doing today? Appreciate Dr. Clouds for stopping by for the old intro. Thank you there, good buddy. Anyways, coming at y'all with a video today. I had a couple people request that I do a video on some temp control, and a certain person wanted me to do a little video on a Kanger Subtank. It's kind of like a beginner's video, basically on how to build a temp control coil for the rebuildable Kanger Subtank. So let's get into some cloudy mother chucking action. Alright guys and gals, we're going to dive right on down into it. First off, I want to show you guys what I'm vaping on today. I am vaping on some plume juice, and this is a new flavor. It's the blue glaze. It's a blueberry glazed donut, and it is exceptionally delicious. So if you'd like to go and try out some of the plume juice, check out vapecaviar.com. They do have they have a lot of sales, but their plume juice line, 120 ml bottles, $19.99. You sign up for their email subscription, and they will send you a code for, I believe, 15 or 20% off, so you can get you some plume juice and try it out for yourself. It is good. They have a lot of different flavors. This last order I got the blue glazed, I got a blueberry cheesecake, and I got a Lucky Plumes, which is like a Lucky Charms flavor, and they all are delicious. Today I am vaping on the IPv4. I got the Smoke TCT tank, the good old temp control tank. But all that aside, today we will be working and building on the Kanger Subtank. We're going to be putting a temp control coil on the rebuildable section of this Subtank. Alright, I'm going to break her down and let's get right to it. Alright, today we will be building a temp control coil out of the good old nickel 200 28 gauge. And we will be building it on the rebuildable deck on the Kanger Subtank. First off, to all the beginners that are getting into coil building, I do want to recommend to get you a Curo Concepts coiler. It will help you building coils tremendously, especially when you're first starting off. But if you don't have the funds to get it, you will be okay. All you have to do is get you a screwdriver set like this Stanley set that I have. And this set, actually, on the flatheads, it will actually show you the millimeter of the screwdriver itself. I don't know if this will zoom in, but this is a 2.4 millimeter screwdriver, which means the shaft right here is going to be 2.4 millimeters, and that's perfect for wrapping this coil on. Alright, one more thing I want to recommend to you beginner builders out there is sometimes you have to play around a lot with your wraps to get your ohms down right, but I want to recommend all you have to do is go and do a Google search for Coil Calculator, and you will find, let's see, you will find the steamengine.org version, and this calculator is awesome. All you have to do is type in your target resistance, your wire size, the type of wire you're using, and also the size of what you are going to be wrapping your coil around. In this case, mine is going to be, I'm going to have to change that to a 2.4 which is not much of a difference, so I'll probably leave it there. But you put your target ohms, and it will tell you exactly the wrap count and everything you need to know about this coil that you're going to build. You also can put in single coil, dual coil, quad coil, all types of things. Here's where I got single coil right here. But for all the beginners, this thing helps tremendously. So, and you don't have to download it or anything. Like you see, I've got it on my smartphone here. All you have to do is just do a Google search for Coil Calculator and you will find it. Alright guys and gals, what you want to do is get you a piece of your wire. In this case, I'm using 28 gauge nickel 200. You want to cut you off a good 6 inches of the wire, and that's pretty much all you need, and something to wrap it around. And in this case, we are shooting for a 0.09 ohm coil on the temp control. You want to go with a low, like a 0.1 or in between a 0.1 and a 0.08 always works best for me. The way the temp control works with the nickel wire, when you heat up the nickel wire, the ohms change. Therefore, the chip will read that, and it tells it how hot it's getting, and it'll let it know when to shut down the power whenever the ohms rise up enough where it knows it's too hot. So anyways, here we go. I calculated in the coil calculator for a 0.09 ohm coil, and it told me with this 28 gauge nickel 200 I needed 7 wraps. So that's all we're gonna do. Just give you a little lead right here past the base of the screwdriver and just start wrapping. It does not have to be perfect because this nickel wire is very soft and flexible, and you can manipulate it pretty easy. Alright, there is 5, 6, 1 more, and that makes 7. And as you can see, this doesn't look pretty at all, but I will show you. Straighten out your little lead here. Let me trim this off a little bit. Alright. Now all you have to do is take your wraps and push them towards the base of the screwdriver or whatever you're using to wrap it on. Just push them down. Bam. But with the nickel wire, you do not want any of the wraps touching. You want spacing in between each one. It doesn't have to be a lot of spacing, they just cannot be touching. Alright, I'm gonna make this coil look a little bit better. Alright, I've got all the wraps pretty good and spaced. As you can see right here, they cannot be touching. If they do, it will give you a short error on your temp control mod. So you do have to have spacing between each wrap. Remember that. Alright, I've got my leads bent in the direction towards each post. And I do want to point out, you can see this deck, there's a split. There's a split right here between these two posts. And that splits off the positive and the negative. So you want your coil, both the leads cannot be touching this positive side. One end has to go across this gap right here, or it will short out. So alright, I'm gonna show you guys. You just center it. It's a pretty easy build. You're just gonna center your coil right above that hole, and you just take your leads and just wrap them. Kind of hard for me to do this while I'm recording, but I'm gonna do the best I can. Just wrap them around those post screws. Find a flathead to help me out a little bit. Alright, once you get that first one around there, go ahead and tighten it off. Get a good connection on it. You don't want to tighten it too hard with this nickel wire because it is soft. That's why it's so easy to bend. and you can break the wire if you tighten it a little too hard. Alright, now for the other side. I'll flip this around. It's kind of difficult to do this while I'm recording. You want to make sure each lead is on its separate side. Alright. Oops. Whoop diddy. Go ahead and get that a little tightened down. Go ahead and snip. You can actually, once you get it on there, you can pull the screwdriver out. Go ahead and snip that excess off. And again, you want to try to snip it off to where it's only touching one side. Alrighty, and now you can take and just straighten it up a little bit. You want it centered directly above that air hole, just like so. And you run it this way diagonal because your juice holes are on these sides, so you want your wicking to run straight through like that so the cotton can come down here to the juice holes. Alrighty, and that's the coil installed. I do want to let you know, beginners, you do not fire off this nickel wire. As long as these wraps are not touching, it's gonna fire perfect. You do not want to dry fire it whatsoever. Alright, let's get into wicking this bad boy. For my wicking today, I am gonna be using the famous cotton bacon. I love this stuff because it comes in these strips, and basically all you have to do is just find you a little piece and tear you off a strip. It works perfect. Just roll it up a little bit. And again, remember, these nickel coils are soft, so you cannot cram a big fat wick through there. You want it just to be, you want it to run through smooth like butter. Alright. Twist it up a little. You see how that just pulls right through there and doesn't move the coil at all. It's not pulling those wraps together or anything. Alright, what you want to do to cut them off, just run down to those juice holes. You kind of stuff this towards there, and you're going to trim it off right where it comes down to that juice hole there. Alright, once you trim off your wicking, you want to fluff it out on the ends like so. You don't want to stuff it down into that juice hole, but you want it to be fluffed out right on top of that juice port. And if you want to, you can go ahead and juice it up, which I am gonna do. Just to get some juice right there on that coil. Just paint it on. Alright. Got the wicking juiced up. Now we can go ahead and slide our cap on. Make sure you don't cross thread it. Alright. Sorry about that. It's been forever since I've used this Kanger Subtank, so I kind of slipped my mind about how everything comes apart to fill it up. I've got it filled up with some of this delicious blue glazed plume juice. So it's time to go ahead and put her on the mod. In this case, I am using the IPv4. So we get her on, and remember, you've always got to set and lock in your ohms on your mod. Alright, and I came out dead on at a 0.10, so that's close enough to the 0.09 I was going for. Alright, let's take her to FaceTime and vape on her a little. Alrighty, we've got our temp control build on our Kanger Subtank rebuildable deck, and now it's time to fire up and get a little cloudy in this mother chucker. Oh yeah, vaping like a dream. Turn it down just a little bit. I did. You always want to start down low and work your way up with a new coil, especially the nickel. You don't want it to get too hot, and which you should have all your temperature settings already set on your mod. You just have to lock in the ohms of the new coil. One thing about the Kanger, the reason why I haven't used this tank in a while is because the airflow, it doesn't have enough airflow for me. I like a really airy draw, so that's why I actually love this TCT tank, this Smoke TCT. I love it because it's got a lot of airflow. I do know this is the first generation Kanger Subtank, so the newer ones do have more airflow, so I don't want to knock them all over the world there. Temp control working pretty good. Hopefully this video helps you build your own temp control coil in your Kanger Subtank, if that's what you have. I know I've done this video for the people that do have this tank, and you can try it out for yourself, put it on your temp control mod, and cloud it up. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a like, give me some comments, bad or good. I love the feedback, and also subscribe for more. Keep it cloudy, mother chuckers.